All right, so the IPL is back.
It is.
Yeah. And you know what they say, right?
What's that?
First impressions are everything, right?
Absolutely.
Especially in a tournament as intense as the IPL.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's talking about that opening match.
Oh, definitely.
Kolkata Knight Riders versus
Royal Challengers Bengaluru.
RCB.
RCB, yeah, at Eden Gardens.
Eden Gardens on March 22nd.
Huge game.
Huge game. So, we've got a ton of sources here, you know, the Indian Express, myKhel, the Economic Times, even Wikipedia is chiming in.
They always have something to say.
Times of India, ndtvsports.com, they're all calling it a thrilling encounter.
And for good reason.
Yeah, and we're going to dive deep into why and, you know, what this might tell us about the rest of the season.
Sounds good.
So let's start with the toss. RCB wins it, and they choose to bowl first.
Interesting.
Yeah, especially at Eden Gardens, you know, considering the dew factor later in the game.
Right, usually you'd think chasing would be the preferred option.
Exactly. So this suggests a lot of confidence in their bowling attack.
Definitely. Maybe they were looking to exploit those early conditions before the pitch settled.
Could be. And then KKR's innings, well, it starts with a bit of a shock.
Oh, yeah, Quinton de Kock out early.
Yeah, Josh Hazlewood got him pretty quickly. How do you think that affected KKR's game plan?
Well, losing a key batsman like de Kock early definitely puts you on the back foot.
Right. But then things got really interesting.
Oh, tell me about it.
Rahane and Narine, you know, they come together and forge a really strong partnership.
Yeah, that was impressive. 51 runs in the last 3 overs of the power play.
Really changed the momentum, didn't it?
It did. I think what stood out was how Rahane really upped his scoring rate.
Yeah, he's not usually known for that aggressive style.
Exactly, which then allowed Narine, you know, to just come in and attack from the get-go.
Put the pressure right back on RCB.
For sure.
Thankfully, the weather held up too, which is always crucial.
Absolutely. Continuous play keeps the energy high.
Yeah, keeps the momentum flowing.
Unlike those stop-start matches, which can really kill the vibe.
Definitely so. Now, about the pitch at Eden Gardens.
Eden Gardens.
Yeah, our sources are describing it as balanced.
Well balanced, you know, offering something for both batsmen and bowlers.
What kind of advantages are we talking about here?
For the batsmen, there was good bounce on offer.
Right, so positive stroke play would have been rewarded?
Exactly. But the bowlers weren't completely out of it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
If they hit their lines and lengths, they could still get some movement, especially early on.
So not a complete batsman's paradise.
No, not at all a good contest.
And we have to remember, this wasn't just any match.
Of course not. KKR and RCB.
Classic rivalry there.
Huge history between these two teams.
KKR definitely has the upper hand in the head-to-head.
Yeah, 20-14 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
KKR had won the last 4 out of 5 encounters.
That's right. So how much do you think that history added to this opening clash?
Well, you know, RCB coming in, knowing KKR's recent dominance over them, they would have been desperate to make a statement.
Yeah, get that win.
Exactly. So it adds another layer of intensity to an already exciting matchup.
Okay, so let's recap. KKR bounces back from that early wicket with a really strong partnership.
Yeah.
And once again, they seem to have RCB's number.
Seems that way.
What do you think we should be watching out for this season based on this game?
Well, I think this game really highlights the importance of adaptability.
Adaptability.
Okay. You know, things don't always go your way. You lose an early wicket.
Right.
You got to be able to adjust your strategy.
Right. And we saw that aggressive batting in the power play.
Absolutely. That's going to be a key factor, I think.
But what about the role of experience?
Oh, that's crucial, especially in those pressure situations.
Like how Rahane anchored the innings?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Teams with experienced players who can handle the pressure.
They'll definitely have an edge.
I think so.
So for our listeners out there, you know, taking everything into account, the history, the result of this opening match, what does this tell you about the potential trajectory for both KKR and RCB?
Well, KKR, they look strong, especially at home.
Right.
They're a force to be reckoned with.
And RCB?
RCB, they have potential.
Yeah.
But they need to find consistency.
Especially against the tougher teams.
If they want to rewrite that narrative.
Absolutely. All right, so that was a fantastic deep dive into the opening match of the IPL.
Really was.
We unpacked the key moments, what it means for the season.
Definitely.
And we've left you with a lot to think about.
Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe even dig into some of those head-to-head stats.
Yeah, good idea.
Or those power play figures.
Some interesting insights there.
Thanks for joining us.
Great to be here.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See you then.